Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to an episode of These Are The Voyages. I'm the captain, Captain Chase McKinney, and joining me once again for some new Earthside learning, getting learned real good with my dear friends, Commander Eric and Commander David. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. It's been a while.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. It has been a while, guys. Has been a while. Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to y'all since last year, for the most part.
Last year. Womp womp.
Wow.
Yeah. Got jokes galore.
I mean, at least we're halfway through the month before you made that.
Yes, as opposed to the day after.
Yeah, or the minute after.
I haven't talked to you since last year. I was like a minute ago, dude. I know. It's been so long. Anyway, it's good to see you guys. And I know that we're about halfway through the month, with this show now premiering middle of January at the time of this recording. But I don't know. How did y'all's holidays go for you, with Christmas and New Year, and how's the year been starting out for you as well?
I have an impatient wife, right? She's one of these people that when they get a gift, right, they have to give it to you right away, right? Yeah. Can't wait. Can't just put it under the tree. I don't need it now. Put it under the tree. Wait a week. Wait 3 days. I don't care. It's there. It'll still be there, right? She's the type of person. No, right now. And she's also she had to give me everything she wanted to give me early. And sometimes she enlists the help of other people, right? Sometimes to figure things out that she's not knowledgeable of, and sometimes she tries to be sneaky about it too. like one day she just called me up and she was like, "Who's Robert Picardo?" I was like, he played the Doctor on Star Trek Voyager. Is that the show you like? Yeah, that was the show that. Is that your one? Did you meet him? I was like, no, he was supposed to be there, but I didn't. Oh well, he just died. So it's I'm like, no, he didn't. No, you're right. He didn't. I'm like, well, what was the point of that? It's just random. Yeah, I don't know. She does try to pull the oh, this celebrity just died, right? Every now and again. But anyway, so there was that. She did that, and then another time she enlisted somebody who lives in Fort Worth, right? Fort Worth,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
To learn things. But anyway, she got me a cameo from Robert Picardo.
Wow, that's cool.
For Christmas, and now she was trying to wait, who's this guy? Do you know that guy? I don't. When she she tries to do stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was cool, and he did a little bit of self promotion in there too, in the new show Starfleet Academy starting on January 15th. I think you're probably going to watch it, aren't you? I think you should.
You should.
If you only knew,
cool.
Bob, if you only knew.
It was cool. I've never gotten a cameo. I don't know if you guys have ever done that before.
No.
Yeah.
I'd like to get one. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
I think the two cameos, one of the two that I'd like to, well, really one of the three would be Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings and Goonies and Stranger Things. Broody, yeah. So him, Sylvester McCoy from Doctor Who, The Hobbit, among other things, and of course Jonathan Frakes. So those three, one of those three would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a neat little thing,
Yeah.
And you always have it.
Yeah.
Adored.
You have to play it for us sometime, man. That's
sure. That's it's 3 minutes long.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
How about you, David?
Yeah, it was a holiday. Lots
Cool.
of driving around all over the place, and all that good sort of stuff.
So,
Yes.
do you get gifts for your child? Does he open them himself, or can he not do that yet?
So he kind of figured it out a little bit this year. I mean, obviously last year he was just a baby.
Right.
So like just straight up baby. He couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
It was useless. This year he did kind of try. But we got him one present. First of all, he already has too many toys, half of which, we probably need to throw away because they're broken. He likes cars, just like cars, and he's got some monster trucks and stuff, and some of them are plastic, and he beats on them and throws them around and stuff. So, but anyway, we got him a pack of these little I don't think they were Hot Wheels, but like Hot Wheels-esque cars, but they were from the movie Cars because he likes the movie Cars.
Yeah.
We just kind of figured everyone else is going to get him, gifts. So it's like, I mean, he's not going to remember this anyway. We don't need to spend a whole ton of money on him. We already spend money on him all the time. I actually have the next thing. So he's not real huge with sitting in his high chair to eat. He'll do it for a bit and then he just wants to go. But his grandma got him this I don't know, it would just call it a stool, like a step stool type of thing. But it's like a pretty big, and it's adjustable, so you can continue to adjust it up or down depending on how tall he is. So he likes going over there. He stands on it and he just eats standing up in that thing because he can kind of get to the counter. So we got him one of those. That wasn't really a Christmas gift. That'll just be a thing that we have now.
Yep. Well, cool. We did like marathon of stuff, as we always do. And just did our normal stuff, travel, hang out around town, and New Year's was fine, and just kind of getting back in the swing of things with work as well, like with the new semester that's been starting up recently. And just a lot of meetings at the beginning of this new year. So anyway, I don't really have anything else, but it's good to see you guys, and here we are. So I guess if that's the case, let's jump into it. So everyone, this is your red alert. We are going into spoilerific territory as we talk about the first 2 episodes of the first season of Starfleet Academy, episode 1 and 2, Kids These Days, and Beta Test.
Okay, before we start, can I just want to give like a 10,000 foot view here, if I might.
You can go higher if you need to.
Okay, yeah, 10,000 feet is pretty good, right?
Okay.
You can open a parachute. You can't breathe. You can breathe up 10,000 feet, right? I don't know.
Maybe.
I would assume if people climb Kilimanjaro and Everest and stuff, you can. Anyway, that's not the point. So the big broad point I want to make here is, who is this show intended for, right? What is like the target audience? Because I hear this complaint all the time, and I hear this retort online, right? I know online is like a cesspool of things, but like, if you criticize a show that might be considered progressive, right? People will always retort with, well, this show isn't intended for you. It's not targeted for you. But my retort to that retort is, a Star Trek show should be intended for me, right? Not like me specifically. Like, they're not making this show for me specifically, but for people like me, right? I've been a Star Trek fan since I was 6 years old, for over 30 years. Like, the people, the creatives and the people who run Star Trek should be making shows that target me, right? The general me.
Yeah.
No, that's not to say they need to do exactly what I want, right? Because like sometimes you don't know what you want until you get it.
That's right.
Like
That's
I
right.
didn't necessarily know that Prodigy was what I wanted, right? Until I got it, and it was like,
Right.
oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
I was skeptical going into that, but I'm watching this show and I'm just like, I don't know if this show is targeted for me, like, or the general me. And I just wonder, like, who is this show targeted for? And I keep coming back to, it's targeted for like teenage girls, right? And like, I don't mean that in like a derogatory or pejorative way, but like, we saw that picture, that poster art that was like them laying on the ground, and it straight up looked like 90210. And I sent you back the corporate wants you to tell the difference between these two pictures, right? It's like, so shows like that, those teen dramas, like who are those teen dramas like 90210 and Dawson's Creek and all those things? Who are those shows targeted towards? And the target demographic is typically teenage girls, right? And now I understand intellectual properties, IPs, wanting to branch out and broaden, right, their base, not their base, but broaden their viewership, right? But I think it's a tough sell to try to get like teenage girls, right, into Star Trek. Not to say that there aren't teenage girls that are fans, there aren't women that are fans of Star Trek, because they are, but the overwhelming majority of Star Trek fans are men, right? I think we can all pretty much agree on that, right? I'm not saying that there are not women that are fans, because there absolutely are. And there's millions of them out there. But I feel like you shouldn't. Yes, broaden your scope. Try to bring in new people, but I feel like a show like this, like Chase, you sent me that message. You're like, man, I'm 5 minutes into this episode and I'm over it. I don't even want to talk about it. And like, for somebody that's a diehard Star Trek fan like you are, and somebody that's a diehard Star Trek fan like me, that's just a bummer that we get this show that like we're not interested in. Like 5 minutes in, I was drifted and I was like, where's my phone? Where'd my phone go?
I want to rewind.
I keep coming back to that. Who is this show intended for? And I don't think it's intended for me. And I hate that retort of, oh, if you don't like this show, if you're just going to criticize this show, it's just because it's not made for you. Well, you should be making shows for me, like general me, right?
Yeah, the Star Trek fan.
Yes.
And I want to rewind to something. Like, this was a conversation. I can't remember if it was just you and I, Eric, or if it was all three of us, but I know that it happened in the context of one of these conversation kind of settings that we've had, that in the past we've had a conversation around how Star Trek, certainly in like the 60s, like with the Shatner era, and even going into like the 80s and 90s with the Berman era of shows, that it was like an adult show, but not adult as in rated R, drugs, language, violence, but it was an adult. It was a cerebral kind of show that families would watch, that not only was aspirational in terms of technology and bettering ourselves, but kids got like younger viewers, right? They would get a little bit of they might puff out their chest a little bit, because like, hey, like I get to watch something that's kind of adult, and I get to stay up with this and watch it with my parents or my older brother, my older sister, whatever. And it was just simple. Okay. And I understand we talk about this with almost every single show for the most part as we go through this current era of Trek. But it just seems like it's become too complicated, and not remaining more simple. We have to find that niche for a particular. We have to corner a certain part of the market, and I'm going to probably sound like a total jerk with this, but I'm starting to have more of an opinion that these shows were better when Trek was not as mainstream. It just seems like we're trying to make this a hyper popular thing like Game of Thrones and the Mandalorian and all the other stuff that we see in today's viewing culture. Like we're rolling out blue carpets like for premieres as opposed to it being kind of a dorky thing, and that's not a bad thing.
So you're saying we stay in our sandbox?
Yeah, let's stay in our sandbox.
Right? If we're a band, we have a dedicated audience. We don't need to try to branch out into mainstream radio success.
There's nothing wrong with success, but if it's success for the sake of success, that's problematic. I guess that's really what I'm trying to get at.
Well, but I mean, has this era of Trek been all that successful? It's
it
not.
Depends on who you ask.
Well, it's not like we're necessarily seeing like movies in the theater, break off movies. We're not, all of this stuff is largely Paramount Plus. Were these episodes shown on what's Paramount's
CBS?
CBS. Yeah, are they shown on CBS?
No, I'm pretty sure like this current era of Trek under Alex Kurtzman.
Yeah, they don't have mainstream.
The only one that they did that with, where they did an actual like cable TV whatever, was Discovery in the early seasons.
Yeah,
with like the first handful of episodes.
Yeah. So I mean, I do get what you guys are saying. I think that they're trying to diversify into a younger audience. The humor and some of the acting that they have in here is very reminiscent of the young kid demographic. Like my nephew, who is I believe he's like 12 now, it's kind of like that. It's like being a kid and just sort of you get those little hyperactive bursts every now and again. You get a sequence of total cogence, and then you just go back off on a tangent. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. But I don't think that they're really, sort of to Eric's point, getting who the target demographic is. And that's the same thing that's happened in other franchises, including Star Wars. I think some of that has gone off of sort of the target demographic that made, Rogue One and the first, I think all of the sequel trilogy $1 billion movies in the box office. You know what I mean? So it's a bit rough around the edges, and I think that their target demographic, I think that they're trying to target younger. They're trying to cliche it because that's the way that they think that you should communicate to children, which it isn't. Communicating to children's never really changed. The slang and lingo of young people, that's what changes, but that's amongst them. It's like, we were joking earlier. I made the joke separately to both you and Eric, where I said, I was half expecting somebody to say 6, 7. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's not for adults. That's for kids. It means nothing. Yeah. I mean, that sort of stuff means nothing to us, and it's not supposed to. It means something to them. But when I didn't look up who's been writing. I know Kurtzman and everything. I don't know if there's been anyone else. I don't know who's directing this. I don't know their ages. I have to assume that they're probably not super young, and that kind of shows, but I just think they're trying to reach out to a younger audience, and I don't think it's going to work because it's not on television. It's not on, and even then, like, we all subscribe to Paramount. would either of you subscribe to Paramount had we not been watching like Star Trek shows?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't either. I mean, we started watching Landman recently, but probably wouldn't watch that either if I wouldn't have had this subscription for so long for us watching Trek.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily see many kids out there rushing out to say, Mom, Dad, can I get the Paramount Plus app? Download it on my iPad. You know, I don't know that's necessarily what's going on.
Right. Well, I'm
Yeah, you know, I mean,
I'm gonna probably have some holes to like poke at or whatever. Yeah, whatever. As we talk about this, but I mean, there are frustrations, and I'll just be honest. Like, I did say what I said to you guys, and just for the listeners' sake, like, I was really having a mental challenge, right? In terms of like how to get my head around this show and like wanting to talk about it. Cause like, I'm stuck. Like, I don't want to be bitter discussing this, but I mean, that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm just kind of having a hard time. So I just want to be honest with you guys and be honest with those listening that, you know, I guess we're going to keep on keeping on. Cause I mean, I gave y'all the out too. Like, if y'all don't want to talk about this, like, we don't have to talk about this. Like, we can take a pass and we can go do our own thing in terms of like talking about other Star Trek content. We're still hanging out. At the end of the day, that's what this is about, right? It's talking Trek, but it's also just hanging out with some dudes that I like having conversation with from a week to week basis, you know, except for, you know, the time that we are with our families and other stuff come up. But, you know, for the most part, I look forward to these interactions, these conversations that we get to have about this fictional future of ours. So,
yeah. And I think we can blow through some of this pretty fast here, because this first episode was 75 minutes and there was not enough content for a 75-minute episode.
Long episode. Yeah.
Very long episode.
I might be excluding like your 2-part season premiere, season finales. This might be the longest episode like ever.
Well,
now, I know like season 2 of Discovery, the finale, Such Sweet Sorrow part 2 was like 75 minutes, but
yeah,
outside of like these 2-part, you know, premieres and finales.
Well, if you guys will just permit me, I'll just try and succinctly blow through the prologue of this. So we have a bit of we have a cold open. We have a prologue with a little kid and his mother somewhere. They're in some kind of like we later find out that it's like an outpost of sorts, Pikaru outpost or whatever it's called, being held. It's this mother talking to her son.
She-Hulk.
A 6-year-old Caleb, we find out, and mom has done some things just to survive, and she's kind of in some hot water trying to reassure her young son it's going to be okay. In doing so, we have them meeting Paul Giamatti's character, who's essentially a space pirate, who is, or at least I'm assuming he's kind of a space pirate at this point, kind of doing some seedy underbelly kind of stuff, and he's kind of put Caleb's mom in a tough spot, and they're both on trial for some stuff. Paul Giamatti,
somebody died while they were
they were
committing theft. Somebody died.
Yeah. So she's like just trying to like feed herself basically, and she ends up killing a Starfleet officer.
Well, they didn't say her.
There was I thought they did say her.
I think he did it.
He did.
Okay.
But this is one of those social commentary things where it's all like today. If you commit a felony and there are two people, they're in progress of a felony, somebody dies, both people get charged with murder.
Yeah.
Commentary.
Okay. So
we could do that. We could do this like all day. There's a lot of this in here.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
So Paul Giamatti's character and the mother get sentenced to this highly punitive thing, and then we have Holly Hunter's Captain Nala Ake. Is am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Who tries to comfort the young lad, and he's kind of playing along, but not really having anything of it. I mean, I don't blame him. You just sentenced my mom to like life in prison,
he's a smart little dude,
and says, "Hey, I need my little bear." And we don't realize it at first, but he's totally snagged her Tricom badge and is peacing out.
He disappears into the wind.
That's right.
How does this 6-year-old kid get off this planet? Like, come on. I mean, I know we got to suspend some belief here, but like, how does a 6-year-old kid get off this planet?
Well, like
he's been trained. He knows codes and stuff, man.
But like, okay, even with that, like they're on this like frigate or something in the middle of like a space sandstorm. So like, it's not like it's like on ground level. It's like up there. And he does like this weird decoder ring thing with it and escapes out the window in the middle of a highly volatile
wasteland.
Didn't I just tell you his mother is She-Hulk?
Yes, his mother also is one of 87 clones.
Is that really Tatiana Maslany?
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Are you kidding me?
I recognized her right away.
I didn't realize that.
I mean, did you see the guy? What's the actor's name who plays grown-up Caleb?
He was yoked, man.
Dude, he's huge. He's mini Hulk. I'm telling you. This is the DC or the Marvel tie-in.
His arms were like, God damn. You saw that, right?
He could be like Thor Jr.
Yeah.
If he really wanted to be. So we get a little bit of a fast forward 15 years later. He's older. He's now 21, something like that. And
he's been looking for his mom.
I don't blame the kid.
Yeah.
Trying to find your mom. Like, heck yeah, man. That makes sense. And he's seen some stuff. He's done some stuff in pursuit of his mother for the last 15 years. And he's just he's committing petty and major crimes just trying to reconnect with her, which is why he finds himself on some kind of detention shuttlecraft taking him from point A to point B, and he's doing that as a means to get into the system to get some information and try and find her.
And there was a fight.
Yes. Yep. I was going to say it's a fetch quest mom style, right? Like the fetch quest is like getting the clue to find the next clue, to find the next clue to get mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then eventually he's captured, and now we go back to our Captain Holly Hunter, which okay, so she has resigned in disgrace because she sentenced these people to jail for theft, which resulted in death, and this kid disappeared. Okay, this does not seem big enough to like have to resign in disgrace. Like, you sentenced somebody who committed a crime where a Starfleet officer ended up dead to jail. Well, and then a kid disappeared. Like, that's not resign in disgrace level thing and leave Starfleet behind.
Well, and she also had orders too.
Yeah,
like she wasn't judge, jury, and executioner here.
Yes.
So that didn't make a ton of sense. It's like, there's got to be something more to that. But I do have to say, the whole scolding of these two children and the ice cream thing, that did make me chuckle a little bit. It was just kind of funny. It was a funny little thing. It's like these two little kids looking up into a fisheye lens, and just like listening to her large grammar.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she's running a children's center on Bajor.
Yeah.
But like but like I think later in this episode or the second episode, she's like, I spent every day looking for Caleb.
Like, no.
Did you really? Or are you running this daycare center?
She's got a computer somewhere just on, running searches.
Yeah, every mention of him.
Okay, serious question. What was her role 15 years ago? Like, was she part of like the JAG Corps? Was she like a Starfleet captain? Like on an actual ship?
Yeah, was she in charge of this planet? That was, I don't know.
Yeah, was she the station commander? Like, I was just trying to understand like where she was and why she was carrying out some kind of judicial order, basically.
Probably just the ranking officer in the area, and as the ranking officer, it fell to her to dispense justice,
to do the thing.
Yeah. Anyway, here comes Charles Vance. I did not think he was going to be in this show. I don't know why I did not.
Look,
did they mention him at all in the lead up to this show? Oh, there's Charles Vance. Good, strong, Midwestern name.
I don't know, but look, I was very happy to see the Dadmiral. He was one of the best things from Star Trek Discovery.
I remember we thought he was invited, right? Because he kept talking about his family.
Seriously.
Yeah.
There he is, Charles Vance, the Dadmiral.
There's the Dadmiral.
We found him.
Yep.
Come back. I'll name you the Chancellor of the Academy. Brand new Academy, opening back up on Earth. Right? For the first time in over 120 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which, I like it. Like, we're opening back up the Academy. I like that idea.
Yeah. Can I... Sorry, I just want to interject here because I don't really remember specifically at this point if they already started. I need to mention that these two shows, I hate the score. I hate every piece of music and little titty-tat drum thing going on behind weird techno music in this going to San Francisco remake song.
Oh, yeah, at the end.
Absolute bull. I mean, if there's anything that made me cringe, it was the continued score of these shows. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I don't know. I'm sure that there are people that like it, but like music is also my thing on the side. I couldn't do it, man. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah, the music, especially in the second episode, in the beginning. Anyway.
Okay, so we meet up. We got our two characters. They meet up, convince him, join Starfleet. Right? I made a mistake. Trust me now.
This, like, was it just me, or was this, like, I know it wasn't the same dialogue, but did it seem very reminiscent of Pike approaching Kirk in Trek 2009 to enlist in Starfleet? Because, like, that's all I could think about, like, with that conversation.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Yeah,
so,
she does it. She does it. Come back.
Yep.
Come back.
Let's do it. Do the thing. So, and I'll help you find your mama.
Okay, so I have a question. I get that we need to go back to Earth, right? To get to San Francisco. But should brand new cadets like also be learning on a spaceship? This is like a serious question. It's not like I know eventually we have to train on actual ships, but if you're like a first year cadet, wouldn't you just be at school?
Thank you.
And not on a ship?
I wanted to talk about this so badly.
Yeah, you're right, and a lot of the people that we wind up meeting, like our main cast, they're all a little too prodigal for me at times. Like they really do like base a lot here and seem to bat a bit above their average, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so they get on this ship, the Athena. What do you think about the Athena, the outside look of it? Because honestly, I hated it. It was
I
like
hate all the
wings on the background.
It's a freaking golf divot tool of a design.
I don't like
it.
any ships that have come from the Discovery forward. I just don't like any of these future ships.
Yeah, I didn't like it. And then when you got inside of it, it looked like a shopping mall. Didn't it? Like all that open space, or like the inside of a hotel or something. Like you don't build a ship with giant open space in between it, do you?
That's my problem with, and I'm kind of, I might be jumping ahead to episode 2, but I'm going to go and talk about it now. That at the end of this episode, it docks, right, on these like pylon things. So like it detaches itself and lands on these things in San Francisco, and it becomes like a stationary academy. It's literally the academy on Earth and the academy in space, which that's weird to me.
Yeah.
But I get that there are going to be like these other adjoining buildings or whatever, but if the ship is the academy, it's the academy. And you have two, to me, unless I'm just like looking at this wrong, you have two wildly different aesthetics that are going on with the academy. Because to Eric's point, you have like a shopping mall, like a convention center that's happening, what we see in this episode. But then you look at when we're grounded, it looks like, I don't know, like a university. It looks like a more office building kind of place.
Well, Chase,
it doesn't jive.
It's big, and we were over here in one episode, and now we're over here. We were in the North Wing. We're in the North Wing, right? And now we're in the South Wing.
Eric, this is what you just did. You moved your hand waved it away. I know.
I said, look over here. But I don't like the idea of the ship landing and becoming the building. I don't like that idea.
This is the thing that I've had an issue with since Star Trek 2009. Okay, and it's perpetuated into just this current era of Star Trek television, and that is we're building ships planet side. What in the world? How much tonnage is there? Like, I know that we're putting in, anti-grav stuff. We got like our warp drives or impulses. We have all the stuff, right? We have our deflectors. We have all the things. But like, you still have to contend with actual gravity. And like, you have that massive shopping center mall of a ship just cruising right across San Francisco Bay and then just landing. Like, how? Like, I mean, I already had an issue with like Voyager being able to do that when we see like their little like landing struts, like with the 29ers, right?
37s.
37s, thank you. I'm sorry. I knew it was a number. The 37s. When they land there, like that, I mean, looking back, it's fine, but like it's getting bigger and bigger, and we're doing it more and more often. I don't know. That's just me.
All right, let's run through our cast here real quick. Because we show up on the ship and we'll meet the people, right? We got Caleb, right? Our yoked, orphan.
Gosh.
We got Jaden, I guess.
Yep,
the Klingon science guy who watches birds.
Yep.
Right? He's a birder. Birdman. We got Sam. I forget what it stands for, but it's an acronym, and she's a hologram, right? She comes from a planet where life is photonic, I guess, right? Is she a hologram, or is she just like a photonic being? Because like in the Bride of Chaotica, we had photonic beings. I don't know. I think she's just a hologram, right? But she was programmed to be 17, and that's why she's awkward, because she's 17, and 17-year-old people are awkward. Let's be honest. Right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we got who we got? We got Genesis. Is that her name?
Probably my favorite character.
Right,
Like
but-
this person is what I like to do. It's like, will you be my friend? You're just giving your friendship away. Like you're not even gonna charge for it. Like,
Are you here to shake me down? Yeah, this is what I want. No, but I don't like a Darsha or something. I forget. Like I don't know. This is a new alien race, isn't it? I don't recognize this alien.
What
race.
was it? Her mother.
Her
was
dad is
was
an
it? Her dad was an
admiral.
okay.
She has an admiral.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Caleb the orphan. We got Birdman. We got Hologram. We got In the Beginning. And then we got douchey McDoucherson over here, right? There's every high school has a douchey McDoucherson, right?
Mhm.
I forget his name, but
Oh, you watch
whatever.
birds? Well, I'm gonna make fun of you for watching birds.
I'm rich, and it's not an Iconian. It started with a K. I had the subtitles on. It started with a K. But
You talking is Darum Rainey?
Darum McDoucherson. That's what I'm going to call him. Or Darren Dudusherson. That way it
Kionian.
That way it alliterates.
He was a Kionian.
Okay, a Kionian.
Not to be confused with an Iconian.
Right. Iconians are a dead race.
That's why I was
Anyway.
confused.
He was the first one. He's the first one ever in Starfleet, and he's rich, and he's going to make captain someday. Not with that attitude, you're not.
I'm gonna be the quarterback of the football team.
That's what he was. I'm gonna date the cheerleader because I'm the quarterback. I'll see you later. Okay, so this is one big problem I have with a lot of these like high school shows. Like, I don't know if this is a high school show or if it's supposed to be a college show, right? We know that Starfleet Academy is not exactly like college because you can go at a younger age. We know like Chekhov was 15, right? And I guess that was in the Kelvin timeline. I don't know if that's necessarily true in this timeline, right? But we know like Chakotay went there when he was early from that flashback episode. So it's not like traditionally speaking a college, but let's just call it like our high school shows. The friend groups never make any sense because like I look at some of these friend groups and like there's no way in real life these people would be friends. Like and if this Darum McDoucherson becomes part of their friend group, right? No way, especially after this first meeting. I know they have to room together in the second episode, and you can when you room with people, I don't know if you ever lived in a dorm. I lived in a dorm for 1 year, and I didn't bond with that person at all, right? But like, I don't know if David, if you ever lived in a dorm, but like, I know people do bond. You know, you hear like, oh yeah, we were college roommates and now we're friends 20 years later still. Okay, whatever. I just don't believe this.
That's nice.
Well,
I see it on other shows all the time. It's like, there's no way in real life those people would be friends with that guy. I always think back to like Victorious, like Robbie with his puppet. There's no way that group would be friends with Robbie and his puppet.
Well, you know
what I'm talking about, right?
He's like the overcompensating jock with a heart of gold, man. He's actually a big old teddy bear.
Oh, frick.
They'll all be friends because they have to be friends. You have to be able to have multiple people from different backgrounds all come together and be super good friends.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dang it.
Sure. Okay, the other character we meet that I want to bring up is our Jem'Hadar lady, right? We saw this person in the clip, and it's like, how do we have a female Jem'Hadar? One, right? Why do we still have Jem'Hadar at this point? I know, like, the Dominion is still out there, right? They still control their territory in the Gamma Quadrant, right? It's not like they don't exist, but, we're 800 years into the future. Who knows what happened with them, right? Who knows if, like, Odo going back to join the Great Link changed them in some way or not, right? But I want an explanation of how we can have a female Jem'Hadar.
Well,
And I think the writers think they have the explanation by making her not a full Jem'Hadar, but a half Jem'Hadar, half Klingon. Now, from what I understand, her father is Jem'Hadar and her mother is Klingon, right? Think of the alone time with those two. but Jem'Hadar, they're bred in test tubes, right? Essentially, they're test tube species. They're not a real species. They don't exist. They were genetically engineered, and they were when they were 3 years old, they were considered old, right?
Yeah.
So, and they're addicted to the Ketracel white, right? Now, I guess in 800 years, you can change the genetic engineering of a species, right? But I guess I still don't know if they can procreate, right? But I think the writers think they explained it with this, and I doubt we'll get any more explanation as to this character and how they exist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not holding my breath for any more explanation because I think the writers think they explained it.
Yep.
I think the writers think they explained why Adira, a human, can be host to a Trill symbiote by having all the previous hosts accept her.
That also happened
with the spaghetti warehouse, my friends.
Yeah.
Spaghetti warehouse.
Those are our characters, right? And we get the Doctor, right? Now, I'm interested to see what happens with this Doctor, because I read an article somewhere where Robert Picardo says that yes, it's the same Doctor, but he's dealing with sort of like the emotional trauma of, outliving all of his friends, right? And you can see there's that moment when Sam is talking to him, and she mentions, Seven of Nine and Janeway, and she mentions Dal and Gwyn, right, and the Protostar crew, and he snaps back at her, ooh, you can tell there's a wound there. I'm interested to see how that plays out here.
Yeah, so with Sam being the character that they are, I'm okay with that character making that observation if they're photonic, holographic, artificial of any kind, right? Just being able to connect into a computer like that would make sense, being able to recall stuff. But if it were Caleb or Genesis or whomever doing that, I mean, that would be like us talking about some rando person from the freaking Byzantine Empire, guys. That's so far removed in history, just to bring that up in just conversation with someone.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's try and kind of fast track this a little bit, because we're gonna have the problem come up here in a second, and then it's just chaos with the resolution, which is kind of quick in the grand scheme of things. So because we're en route, right, on the Athena from point A to point B being Earth, where we're going to dock and become grounded Starfleet Academy. We have one of our personnel who is all about practical learning, teachable moments and stuff like that, and we notice that there's this thing over here that we can investigate as a teachable moment for our crew, which, let me just say, the semester hasn't started yet. They're still kind of on summer holiday. This is pre-semester, so I wouldn't expect there to be work to be done. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm an actual professor in real life. I don't want to be giving out real work before a semester starts. I want to enjoy my break with what little time I have on my breaks to enjoy.
Me too.
See, let's go, somebody. But we investigate. There's some shenanigans that happen. We have Paul Giamatti's character. He has orchestrated some stuff that's going to our favorite programmable matter is going to wreak havoc on our ship. It's going to consume it, and it's going to start screwing with the systems, and things are going to go cray-cray. Along the way, we're going to get some people that are going to get hurt, like our Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid number 1, going to get a little bit of shrapnel in our abdomen. We're going to have systems going down, transporters going down, all sorts of stuff just going down, and we're just kind of at the mercy of technology and hoping we can figure our way out of it. And this is where, like, I'm with David on this. Like, this is where we start to see a little too much prodigy in action, like with everyone. Like he was saying, like people are kind of like hitting a little bit above where they probably should. They're batting a little bit higher than average type of thing. I get that we have, you know, the best and the brightest from like various worlds coming to, you know, join Starfleet and become an officer in this organization. But you're a student. Like, you haven't even started classroom learning. Like, you've barely been fit into a uniform, even if you just go through some kind of like transporter thing that's going to give you a cool haircut and a new uniform. I mean, you haven't learned crap, and now we're running around, we're patching computer systems, we're performing surgery, right? We're doing cool engineering stuff, while the rest of the actual Starfleet personnel are getting the Freeman treatment and being completely inept and not doing crap.
Yeah, but Chase, you forget, yoked Caleb has been on his own and resourceful since he was 6 years old. So he's got that street learning. He's got that street learning out there. And Genesis
I will mute you.
Has been training for this since she was 2 years old because she has a dadmiral. Yeah. So she knows. She's probably been on a ship a time or two in her life.
I am broken.
And, you know, Rich Douchey McDoucherson, he's rich. So rich people are better than everybody.
Yeah, he's a rich fish who can just go out in space and be totally
yeah.
That's something only wealth can buy.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yep. So there's a plan, right? Like, for what it's worth, am I the only one that sees Caleb going in the engineering path?
No,
like, is that?
No, they're pushing him toward red all the way.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want him to wear red. I want him to wear gold.
Yeah, but he kind of did take charge of this whole thing. He had a solution to the problem because it's something he knew about, and he kind of did a little bit of directing there. So it's definitely, and he's also the main character.
So what? Jordy did that.
Our main character has to be command.
Yeah.
You know, Prodigy couldn't figure out who the main character was to be in command. I mean, like,
Prodigy didn't have a main character. I mean, I guess Dal, but like, Dal knew when to give it up. Dal took command and then knew to give it up.
Look, man.
Which is good command, knowing when you shouldn't be in command.
So yeah, that's the first episode.
Yep, and we find out. I was asking, like, when we first saw Paul Giamatti, I was like, "What kind of alien is this?" You're like, "I don't know. It's 800 years in the future. Could be something we don't know." He's a Klingerite.
Yeah,
he's a half Tellarite, half Klingon.
Can you imagine that? Also,
I don't think he looks like either one of those. If I'm being perfectly honest.
No. No.
But, you know, he's a space pirate, right? He's a Klingerite. And don't ever fight a Klingerite. But we managed to pull the old warp core's going to blow. Get out of here. Right? That's that's really overplayed. Can we think of something else?
Mhm.
Can I just gripe about something else real quick about this first episode? Since we're on the Athena itself in space. I was like, put some dang respect on that chair. For crying out loud. Like just sitting in it like it's a freaking lounge chair. Like it's a freaking lazy boy.
She's quirky.
Yeah, quirky.
Right? I'm quirky.
You're the captain of
I'm gonna
ship.
adjust
You're
my
the
personal
chancellor.
I'm gonna adjust my personal settings.
Yeah, crap. What is she half of again?
Lanthanite.
Lanthanite.
Like our engineer and
Yeah, so I feel like, I mean, there's kind of a trope about like those that live super long sometimes get a little bit, odd.
I don't like to wear shoes.
Yeah. Well, when you're grounded, it cures all mannerisms of disease. I put copper coils under my bed sheets and I put them in the ground so I can be grounded even when I'm asleep. That's just what it reminded me of. I know a few people who are those kind of folks. No offense to those kind of folks, but still.
Yep, and episode 1, if you're going to San Francisco. And again, we see one of these, I forget what their name is, but the half black and white people.
That was another
right?
gripe you had.
It's like, this is a dying race 900 years ago, right?
You
can't just throw them in there because they look cool, or you can't throw them in there because, like, oh, look, this is our knowledge of Star Trek. Like, I think the second episode did a lot of how much Star Trek can we put into Star Trek.
Yeah.
This was a moment where it's like, let's just put Star Trek into Star Trek. I don't know. That just kind of upset me. I don't even know what that race is called, but let that be your last battlefield alien.
Great episode of original series.
Oh yeah,
fantastic. But I saw that, I'm like, why? Like there was like a handful of them, or just a couple handfuls.
There was like 2.
well, like, did they say they were the last 2? Because I thought it was like there's like 4 of us all together.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but yeah, it was very minimal 900 years prior. Unless like someone did like a freaking whale movie kind of situation where they took a refit bird of prey and went back 900 years, grabbed them, and
hey, that whale is still alive.
Okay, so yeah, Caleb gets in trouble and stuff, and he has to do like some 90 days of being grounded and whatever, and that leads into this next
manual labor, right? He gets sent to community service.
And like when I heard that, I'm like, how if Starfleet Academy is a ship that lands on some docking clamps, how can he be grounded?
Well, if the ship leaves, he can't go.
But he's part of the Academy. The Academy is the freaking ship.
You can't go on the special field trip, okay? Go pick up
garbage. Go with Mrs. Frizzle. Frick.
Can I just? I just want to interject here just a little bit. So obviously, in the very beginning, there was this whole punitive system that they had going on, and there really wasn't any room for nuance and everything. But we have like our half Jem'Hadar Klingon, yelling at everybody like a drill instructor, and we constantly say, oh, Starfleet isn't a military organization, but they have a drill sergeant apparently. And then like 100, I think it was like 100 hours of whatever community service. Like, does that honestly make sense? Because for some reason none of that makes sense to me for Starfleet Academy, for Starfleet in general. Maybe it's just it's different. I mean, I understand we're not however many hundreds of years previously and so forth, but it just sort of seems like we're just it's a military organization. We've just agreed, right?
Yeah, I know you've said that lots of times. It's not a military organization, but it is, right?
Yeah, but
I just never pictured Starfleet Academy being boot camp. I figured it'd
Yeah.
be college, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Now
you're
I know
learning.
you gotta be
They're
fit
like,
to fit, but
Yeah.
like this was straight up drill sergeant. I know there's always a crier, there's always a runner.
yeah,
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
that didn't
This
make any. That didn't
came
make
out of this was out of Starship Troopers, not Star Trek.
Well, I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, even like I didn't go to I didn't go to a military academy by any means. My only experience was doing ROTC, and Eric, I know your brother did ROTC as well, and like there's a certain level of decorum that is expected when you're in the halls of like your ROTC detachment, for instance, but it's nothing like that. Like we saw with like drop and give me 20 and oh yeah, put your duffel on his back. Like that crap never happened in like ROTC, and I doubt, I mean, I don't know. I didn't go to the academy, but I would have a hard time believing something like that would actually happen. And also, just a small little nitpick, if it's just, it hit me because I was looking at that wall of all of our the wall of Easter eggs with like all the people, and Starfleet is based off of like a naval military structure, like with terms and stuff like that. And on the wall it said midshipman. I'm like, midshipman, that's what naval cadets are referred to. And I know we've used midshipman in what was that, Wrath of Khan? Was that Wrath of Khan, or was that the midshipman that was killed in the line of duty, that was helping Scotty in engineering?
Oh, I don't remember. That was
anyway,
that
he was a
Wrath of
midshipman.
Khan, yeah.
He was a midshipman, so he was a cadet. Naval cadets are referred to as midshipmen. So it's like, did something change, or are we just not being consistent between midshipman and cadet?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. We're in San Francisco. We're in episode 2 beta test. We are there, and we are trying to get things back off the ground. The Admiral Vance is trying to figure out some stuff about relocating Federation headquarters back to Paris or somewhere else, and we're also dealing with
The car wash with the shimmer thing, does that not exist anymore, right? Or are we
got an
moving
upgrade.
that to Earth orbit, or what are we doing with that?
Yeah.
Right? Are we going to leave that where it is? And, because, like, is this going to be President Rillick's office, right, in Paris? And the Admiral's still going to be out there in the car wash shimmer thingy?
Maybe.
Is President Rillick still a thing? Or is her term over? Who knows?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure about like time frame.
Well, it seems like this takes place pretty soon after Discovery.
I mean, yeah. I'm just thinking about like the uniforms, right? Because like,
Don't get like I know.
no.
Like,
I actually have good things to say about the uniforms. There
But I
is
know-
some degree of consistency in this.
I know you used to say like uniforms alert us to like what time period we're in.
Yes.
But like it seems like in this era of Star Trek, every show wants to have its own uniforms, so they
Right.
can say these are the uniforms for our show, and it hurts us watching it identify place and time.
Right. Which, that's the thing that I appreciate, is that there is consistency with this. Like even with like the 15-year jump, right? Like they still had like those like Discovery era uniforms, but they were just like a slightly different color palette back at like the Picaro station or whatever. We get to now, and it's in alignment with where we left Discovery, so that's good. But that's why I'm a little off. Like, okay, is it right where we left off with how the series ended? Because I don't remember when Earth rejoined, because it just seems like there's so much animosity with Earth like re-engaging with Starfleet and the Federation.
Well,
And now all of a sudden, yeah, come on back to San Francisco. We'll build some landing pillars for you. And yeah, sure, why not? We can reconsider having HQ somewhere in the Northern Hemisphere, whatever.
well, if you remember, at the end of season 4, we go back to Earth after we have talked Species 10C down, and we meet President Stacey Abrams, right? Right, and like her and Burnham kind of walk off together, and I think it's implied that because of this whole thing, Earth is, and because Captain Ndoye went on that mission, kind of implied that Earth is like back in the fold here. That was always the impression that I got from that ending of season 4.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know, but we've got the War College, right? And I guess this is where we get the Earth Defense Force, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Captain Ndoye was part of, right? Starfleet Academy morphed into the War College to protect her, which I don't necessarily have a problem with, right? When the bird and you're cut off and you don't have resources, and we see the piracy that goes on, right? We got the War College, and there was a Romulan there, right? And there was some other people, and now the War College still exists, right? It's not going to be full. It's going to be its own thing. There's going to be the War College and Starfleet Academy next to each other. They're not going to try to like combine them together, which seems odd to me, because we always saw when a planet comes into the Federation, their military, their militia, whatever, has to be like rolled into Starfleet, right?
Yep.
That was the thing we saw with Bajor, right? That's okay. We got the War College.
I don't know what the dude's name is, but we see him throughout this episode. But he seems like he's our head.
Yeah, he's the commandant of the War
College. He seems like he's going to be like a heel for this season.
I think he's just a little high strung. Got to wear those regulation shoes, man. It's a safety issue.
Safety issue. I don't know. But the big thing of this episode is we want to get Beta Z back into the fold, right? Beta Z was a big important member of the Federation, right? We got Earth back in finally. We got Navarre. Now it's Vulcan and Romulus, right? Back into the fold. We assume we have Trill. I assume we have Trill back in to the fold because of all the things we did in Discovery with it. Right, so we're getting these planets. So we got to get Beta Z because it's close. It's close to Earth. Beta Zs were a long-time member. We got to get them back in. But because of the burn, they put up a psionic wall around their territory, right, to protect. No one could get in. Like, I didn't know Betazoids could do that, right? They're empaths. Very few of them are actually telepaths. Mm-hmm. Right, like Loaxana Troi was also a telepath as well, but Deanna Troi, she could communicate with other powerful telepaths, but like she couldn't just read. She wasn't a telepath herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then why are they using sign language? I'm not sure I understood that through this whole thing. Why, like, okay. Yeah, but all of them were using sign language, weren't they?
Yeah, there was a lot of sign language going on.
I'm not sure why, as empaths, they have to communicate in sign language amongst each other. I don't know if know if either of you thought of a reason for that.
Well, he had some sort of like vocal device, but they still had a signer to the rest of the people as well. So like it wasn't just them signing, they had like a signer for like the cadets and so forth while they were doing their little debate thing.
Yeah.
Which was interesting.
I wasn't sure like how like that device worked. Like what I was reasoning with in my head was whoever wears it, like the button lapel thing, like sees the signs and communicates it in an auditory way. But it still begs the question, like, why did everyone else need to? Because everyone could talk. Everyone else seemingly could talk. Like, our main Betazoid female was talking without an issue, and I think it was her brother.
Her brother was talking too.
Without
so maybe that guy was just deaf, right?
Yeah,
the father.
dad. Yeah, that's what I
Maybe
figured.
that's why. Okay. Anyway, Beta Z has some demands, right?
We want
Give
all
us an armada of ships. Give us seats on this council, right? We want seats on the council, and we want to be granted the rank of master. Don't just give us a seat on the council.
Oh my gosh.
You'll have a seat on the council, but we do not grant you the rank of master. Well, they also wanted like final say on anyone who would be joining the Federation.
Unlimited veto power, like the UN Security Council, like the US and all those permanent members can just veto anything they want. Yep. And no, it's not good. So now you're here, but in order to convince you of what we want, we got to let your kids meet up with our kids and go on tours, because that's what's going to change.
I want that one.
Mind. That's what's going to change the dad's mind.
Crazy kids.
Is your kid is going to meet this kid, and they're together. They're going to show you how bright the future is going to be and change your mind. How often has a teenager ever changed their parents' mind?
Is your kid kissing my kid?
Why did you let a criminal in?
No, but okay. But anyway, so yeah, she picks him because they had met when he was literally on the fence, right? You're literally on the fence. But anyway, so he's showing them around, and they're following, their hearts are racing, right? Their blood pressure's up, their heart rates are up. But anyway, so at one point he takes her to see the whales, right? There be whales in here, and everyone is like pissed that he was taking her on a tour when that was what you literally told him to do.
Literally.
I did not understand that. Yeah. It's like, how dare you take her on a tour? How dare you show her you told me to do this. What did I do wrong? I'm so sorry for his behavior. I don't know what he did wrong, unless it was just after hours and he was after curfew and you have her back by 9. And it's after 9.
Yeah. 9:01.
Disc. Like, what did he do wrong?
Okay. Speaking of going on a tour, what is up with this era of Trek being so doggone obsessed with cetacean ops? Seriously, like, is there something I just don't get? It just keeps coming up.
I just think this was I'll show you how much we know about Star Trek. We know the one with whales.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's it, because she wanted to see the humpback whale, right? Yeah. She knew about the whales. I don't know, but this Caleb guy was really upsetting me in this episode. He pissed me off. Like, there's nothing you can teach me about temporal mechanics. I'm a genius. I'm smart. Boy, I am an engineer. I am 1,000 years old, right? Physics hates me because I am out of time and place. Like, I know more than you. I'm going to dress you down. First of all, as a teacher, you can't do that, right? Maybe you could have done that in like the 1950s, right? You could have stood up a student and basically embarrass them in front of the classroom. You can't do this. I understand the instant, like the want to, when you're like a teacher and some kid is acting a fool, but you can't do that. That's completely out of line, right? Completely. But like, Caleb is being McDoucherson right now.
Yeah, that particular thing didn't make like the biggest amount of sense to me. Like, there was the earlier scene where he was complaining about his room, to our commandant, and they were all like kind of doing this little back and forth. It's like, we know he's your special kid. We won't dress him down now, but I don't know. It just sort of seems like, he's really in and out of everything. He's like, oh yeah, I'm cool being here, and then I'm not. And, well, I'm gonna talk back to a teacher. It's fine.
Well, that's because he's 21 and he's emotionally immature because no one raised him, right?
Yeah.
Raised him to a point.
I chalk a lot of that up to just him just being emotionally immature because he never had any like guidance.
Yeah.
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 Never had a bed until recently.
He probably slept in a bed at some point in his life. But did you know making your bed is going to help repair the Federation? So always make your bed in the morning. Because it's a simple task, but it shows that you can get something done.
That's true. That's true.
And that's how we end the episode. We're going to make our bed, right? That's what they call a bookend.
Well, her brother's now rooming with him.
That's a giant room. Did you see that? It is supposed to be like a dorm room. Dorm rooms are supposed to be tiny. You maybe have to bunk your beds to even have space. Like we bunked ours that one year I lived there. Like this is a giant dorm room.
Did we stay in the same dorm together when we went to NOAC at Michigan State, or was that someone else?
I think I stayed with Steve Cowden.
I can't remember if I had sunshine in my dorm or not.
Anyway, not big. Dorm rooms are not big.
No, they were teeny
because
tiny.
the idea is you got to put a lot of people in there, and the more rooms, the better, right? This room is giant.
Yeah.
Anyway, right? So I don't even. We convinced the dad to change
By
his
using
mind,
the daughter.
right? He used the daughter, and why didn't you open up to me? Well, I just met you. Why would I open up to you? Like I literally met you an hour ago.
Seriously.
Like, why
That's
are
pretty
you
naive.
upset that I didn't open up to you about my childhood trauma and my mother being torn away from me and I had to live on the street and fend for myself for 15 years? That's not something you just open up to somebody about.
Like as much as I, in real life, my day job, being a mental health counselor, being a counselor educator, I love the fact that people are more willing to talk about the impact and the value of mental health and mental health care. Like I really am. I'm very happy about that. But it's not necessarily. It doesn't need to be this trendy thing like where you just like talk about it. Like it's. I mean, there's nothing to be ashamed of, but like people treat it like it's just like such a freaking accessory that you need to have, like the next iPhone or the next gadget or whatever. Like you don't just, well, we call it trauma dump. You don't trauma dump on people with like the crap that you've gone through.
Well, she's like a super betazoid though, right? Like she's got like her little inhibitor thing on.
Yeah, she's got her inhibitor chip.
Yeah, if she doesn't have that, she just can hurt everybody in little time bomb. And
she has too much empathy.
She cares too much.
That's her weakness.
That was funny.
That
I just
cares
have too much empathy. I
and she
care
has
too much.
scars that remind her of the past. And the
Oh my God. But I mean, she seems a little unstable in general. Like her, I will say this about I don't remember her name. I think I looked up the cast. I don't remember her name. She does kind of. I don't know like what she would be like normally, but she seems like she plays this part really well, like almost on the edge of like snapping your head off, but then kind of like, spinning things around a little bit. It's just, I think she expects implicit truth, but doesn't really. I mean, I would kind of think like the Betazoids are a little isolationist, so they probably, I don't know, maybe they're not meeting people enough. maybe they're too comfortable, and this is just like a really weird thing for them. But she's a little bit of a weird. She's a little bit of a weirdo.
Tarima Sadal, I believe was her name.
Yeah, but we get some plot moving forward here, right? Paul Giamatti, I already forgot his name. Nuss or something like that. Anyway, he says, "Oh, your mom and I, we escaped from Gorak 5 or whatever something with a G, number 5, right?" But like, no one's ever heard of that planet. It's not in the Federation database, and he's searching for it. And that's what he's doing here. He doesn't have time for school because he's got real important things to do. But she gives him access to the Betazoid database, right? And lo and behold, instantly, boom, found it right in the Betazoid data, like right there, right? I can't believe the Federation database didn't have it. It was right there. Maybe it's because it went up after the burn and they lost the information of it. That's believable. I don't have any issues with that. Like, remember the Vulcan star charts weren't complete, right?
Yep. That's true.
Are you telling me their star charts not complete? Anyway, and so boom, now I have information. I have somewhere to look, right? But you got to help me, right? You got to help me, Captain, Chancellor, Madam Lady, person. Right? So we got some plot. I guess this is going to be our driving plot of this series, or at least this season. Like we're looking for his mom because we sent somebody there, right? And it's a place for people to disappear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, you don't want to be found, but somehow we found records of her in the place that people go to disappear and don't want to be found.
Somehow
right?
she was found.
Somehow we found it, and it seemed like it was pretty easy. And she got off. She's not there. She's not necessarily safe, but she's not there.
Right.
But I need you to stay here with me because we can build something.
Scene.
Finn. This episode did feel like it dragged on at the end. Like, okay, the main conflict of this episode was the Betazoids, right? It's the beta test, and we finished that. And then there's like 10 more minutes. I was like, why is there 10 more minutes?
Why indeed? All right. Well, I guess we can bring this thing back. So let's move into the evaluation portion of this. So we're bringing it back, guys. We're bringing it back. Let's move into the Delta. So based on the different divisions of Starfleet service, I know we're dealing with cadets. If we're looking at command, sciences, and operations, such as communications, engineering, etc., how well were the different divisions of Starfleet represented in this show?
Well, we did
episodes 1 and 2.
We did some science, right?
Yep.
We had the programmable matter that was eating our ship, and we did solve it with science, right? Oh, I recognize this. Everything has its own resonating frequency, and if we do this, find the frequency, if we deflect or shield it, right? So we did science operation our way out of that problem. Yes, was it a little too prodigy, right? Like, were they a little too prodigal? Well, I don't know, prodigal. That's not the word you would use, right? I don't know. They were a little too prodigy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not an English major.
They knew too much.
They knew too much. That was their weakness. Just got to throw these references in there, see if people actually catch them, see if you guys catch them. But and it's like the actual Starfleet officers who've had training basically sat around saying, "Captain, we can't do anything. We don't know what to do." But at least they did do some science there, right?
That they did.
I'm not sure about engineering or command because I don't necessarily. This our Holly Hunter is not. she hasn't resonated with me yet. Like I don't see her having that gravitas of Starfleet chancellor yet.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that you might be able to put in there was that so she was, I don't know if you'd say integral to the ending of the Betazoid plot, because eventually they did agree to come back, and they have fort on Beta Z instead of in Paris. So she had kind of slid into that role. But then I also think like I think it's a little bit, it's not really necessarily like command, so to speak, but like the time she's putting into Caleb because she sees the potential in this kid, to like do something greater than just being out there on his own and barely surviving and all of that. There's like a good quality in that. Like I said, I don't necessarily think it's command necessarily, but it's it's a good quality to have, because like if you do see somebody out there with potential, you just don't want to throw them away because he took the president's daughter fish watching too late at night.
No, for sure, I get that.
But then even like, I mean, I know it's a bit Mary Sue, but like Caleb did come through on the ship and execute a plan. So he sort of moved the pieces around, so to speak. So there is a little bit like the fledgling seed of that in him.
Yeah, sure. But he needs like, I hesitate to compare him to Dal, but there are some similarities in the sense that he thinks he knows more than he does, and he thinks that he's smarter than he is. I guess Dal maybe wasn't as brash about it. I'm not remembering. Maybe I'm not remembering. Maybe Dal was brash about it. That's not my memory, right? I think this guy needs a lot of help before he's ready to even try to lead people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the impression that Caleb and what's her name?
Genesis?
No.
Or this Betazoid person.
Yeah, I just said the name. I'm sorry. Tarima.
Oh, Tarima.
That I feel like they're meant to be the stand-in between Riker and Deanna with what they're doing. Because like, I mean, he's not necessarily super ambitious when it comes to like a Starfleet career like our Kionian friend is, but just like the dynamic, the interactions that we saw with them, even for this episode, like I just get Riker and Troy vibes about it. But I mean, I think like the kids these days, I think there's a little bit of everything, like with the deltas and with beta test. Yeah, I mean, there was like the goo thing, but that's not really science there at the beginning.
No, I don't feel like there's much science going on in this episode.
No, like command and operation, maybe that's about it.
There's diplomacy, and I guess like David said, if you want to put that into command, like I guess that's where it goes.
I mean, diplomacy is a form of command, I would say.
It takes leadership.
So
yeah, it takes leadership to be a good diplomat, right?
Yeah.
Leadership.
By the way, the one thing that we did forget to briefly highlight was we got to see Rock Talk,
or some Brickar.
Dude,
right?
that was the same freaking model of Rock Talk, like even with like the overalls.
But Rock Talk is, I don't know how long Brickars
I know. I know it's like
gotta imagine
900 years, but like
800 years or something.
800
like that,
years, yeah.
something like that. Anyway, I hope this show like leans more into the classroom learning than it does into the teen drama, right? We'll see, right?
We will see.
I mean, this episode was more of the teen drama than the classroom learning. If you noticed, there was a bell that rang, and like, which is fine with the bell. I don't mind that, but it seemed like Reno was just starting her class, and her bell rang like 5 minutes later.
They always do that crap, though.
I know they always do that. It's like, oh yeah, today's lesson. Open up to page 61, and then we get off on a tangent. We don't actually do the lesson in 5 minutes. There's the bell. Wait, what?
Yeah. There was one other thing though that I just want to put out there. It kind of annoyed me a little bit, but the sort of announcements over the intercom. Come on down and get your complimentary cup of coffee in the Kirk Pavilion. That kind of thing. And it's like you have this non-narrator wrap-up thing even towards the end. I don't really get that too much.
You know what? I also, just one thing that I wanted to say. The doctor is doing opera with this lady, right? And I kept waiting for her to say, "By Grabthar's hammer, I will avenge thee." didn't remember her had makeup look exactly like.
It was pretty. Yeah, she was a little pokier than.
It looked exactly like it to me. That's just all that came to my mind.
Yeah, it was funny.
All right, well, fellas, let's move into the numerical rating. I know this is what y'all been all looking forward to. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a dumpster fire, 10 being absolute perfection, what do we think?
Well, I know what Chase is going to rate this, just based on some of. I have a decent ballpark, just based upon where I've seen some of, Chase's other rankings. This is wow. I'm trying to think back some bad episodes of recently. I don't even know why I went first. I don't like going first on this.
You just started talking. I was just
I know
looking.
I did. Dang. I gave 4 1/2 Vulcans a 3.9. Is this as bad as 4 1/2 Vulcans? Are we doing this separate or together?
Yeah, probably separate, right?
Okay. Well, they're pretty bad. These episodes are pretty bad, right? I don't know. I don't want to flame this thing right away because, what if it gets worse?
What if it gets so much worse?
What, you know what I mean? It's like I remember, David, when you were doing your reviews for The Mandalorian season 2, and you were like, "This is the best episode of The Mandalorian so far, 9.8."
Yeah.
And then the next week you were like, "No, this is the best episode of The Mandalorian so far," but you backed yourself into a corner with your rating. And, you kept going I can't go any higher, right? So it's do I want to back myself into a corner here, or do I want to leave some wiggle room? I don't know. I'll just call them both 4s, right, and move on because I don't want to be that guy.
So, David, do you want to go next, or do you want to?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I understand what they were trying to do with kids these days, put the action out in front, try and grab you, introduce everybody, and all that good sort of stuff. Beta test, you're trying to get more out into the galaxy and so forth. So, I understand kind of what they're trying to do. It doesn't really feel super Starfleet Academy-ish, though. There are some characters that I like. You know, I like Genesis because she's a smart ass, and I kind of like Caleb at times. Like I don't hate. Well, that's not even true. There are a few characters that I could do without. Some of the social messaging is pretty in your face, so that might not vibe with people very much. And the comedy is a little weird too. You know, just at times it's a little young, and it's not particularly endearing. So I think I feel like beta test might have been slightly better for me than Kids These Days, because I don't remember which one of you said this. I kind of zoned out a bit through the first half of Kids These Days, so that's not really that good. So I'm gonna say I think I'm gonna give it a 5. Kids These Days, I'm gonna give it a 5. Just middle of the pack, but still failing. Beta test, like it could have been better. Like I actually could see where that episode could be good had it not been for some of the cringiness. So I'm gonna put it at a 5.5. It was better than Kids These Days.
Okay. Oh, now Eric's making me think about some of my own ratings.
I mean, I thought you were going like 2, Chase.
I mean, it's still possible, my friend.
You can do whatever you want.
I'm the
You
captain,
don't have to
man.
consider everybody else's scores.
You
No.
can do whatever you want.
No, I'm just looking at my like what is my lowest? Mathematically Perfect Redemption, that was pretty dang low.
There's gotta be something on Lower Decks, right?
Yeah. That was the peanut hamper one. Yeah, 3.75. That was my
3.6 for Mugato Gamato.
was that me?
Yeah, I see that for you, Chase.
Oh, shut the front door. Wow. Ah. Okay.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah, 3.75 for the other. Yeah. Oof. Oof.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Yeah, I had just a lot of issues with the first episode. Like, if they're students, why do they know all the things that a professional, like that, that a commission officer would know? I didn't, and maybe I'm just like a prude or something. I don't know, but I didn't appreciate. I mean, I know that it's teens and like young adults, but you're at an academy. There's a certain level of decorum. I didn't appreciate middle fingers and swear words being thrown left, right, and center. I wish that the captain / chancellor would have shown a little bit more respect for the center seat. That's just me. I felt like our Klingon was doing his best Michael Dorn impression of a Klingon throughout our first 2 episodes interacting with them. Yeah, like I was having flashbacks to being in high school with our Douchey McDoucherson, as Eric is calling him, with our Kionian. I mean, I think the only character that I kind of like right now is Caleb. I think that's by design. I mean, second place is Genesis, but the rest of them, like Sam, can we just delete her program or set off an EMP and just never see her again? Like, just go away, please. So yeah, just did not like the first one. I'm going to be slightly generous with the first episode, and I'm going to give that one a I'm going to give the first one a 4, and I'm going to give beta test. I was just rolling my eyes, and I was just over it after 5 minutes. with beta test, and I forced myself out of spite to finish the episode. But I think I'm coming in at a 3.5 with beta test.
Some good old hate watching.
Yeah. So let's look at this. What are we dealing with? All right. So Eric, myself and Eric gave episode 1 a 4. David with a 5. It's a 4.33. And then beta test a 4, a 5.5, and a 3.5. Also a 4.33. So we're trending at a 4.3 for the season so far, guys.
I mean, it's not the best start.
Nope.
I mean, I'm just confused on the who is it designed for, right? What's the messaging that we're supposed to get across from this?
Yeah.
You know, and I have doubts that we're actually going to lean into the learning aspect of it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what there's a world in which a Starfleet Academy show works, right? If you actually get into the classroom of it and the learning of it, let's go on training missions, right? I think that could be, there is an interesting idea there, but you know, this backstory of the missing mom and the street urchin, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Got me wary.
I just pulled up IMDb. I'm normally not the one that does this, and I'm confused about this. And it's a legitimate math question. I'm turning to the professor of advanced mathematics on this question. So far, the series rating, according to IMDb, so far the series rating is a 4.8 for Starfleet Academy at the time of this recording. But then we look at episode ratings at the time of our recording, and Kids These Days is at a 6.4 and beta test is at a 6.
They're independent.
It's independent, yeah. So you can rate the series as a whole, and you can rate the episode.
Oh, you can do that? It's not the individual episodes that contribute?
No, the series episodes don't contribute to the series as a whole. That's why I like when people go and rate the series after one episode. It's like, well, that's stupid. It doesn't, like, you have no idea what the series is going to be. Go rate that one episode, sure, and you flame that if you want, but like, yeah, they're independent.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense, because my limited math brain, that math ain't mathin'. So
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, guys, we're in for a ride.
It's definitely a ride.
All right. Well, I guess we're doing this thing. I guess we're in it for the next few weeks at least.
Listen, Chase, if you need to take a day off, number one here, I can drive. I can drive the boat. I have a boater's license.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I don't have a boater's license, but you know,
I'm the captain now.
Still drive a boat.
All right.
I'm a pilot. I can fly. After Nam, I got into crop dusting. I've been doing it ever since.
All right, guys. Well, thanks as always, I think, for the lols and everything. Well, I guess we'll be back next time for the continuing adventures of our cadets at Starfleet Academy. But everyone, thanks for tuning in. What did you think about the 2-episode premiere of Starfleet Academy? Is it what you were hoping? Is it not? You rate it higher, lower, something else? Let us know. Connect with us, trtvpod@gmail.com. Or send us a voice only to 817-752-4757 with your comments, with your thoughts, with your ideas about the show, and hopefully even like the direction that you hope it will move in. Of course, you can always mail us something like I don't know, like a fake apple or a fake fire fruit or whatever that thing's called, and we'll not bite into it. Make sure it gets to the Lone Star Station, P.O. Box 2455, Azle, Texas 76098. Everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. As always, remember to boldly go and make it so.